What's up, guys? I'm here today to talk about one of my most anticipated films of all time. Not just of 2018, I've been looking forward to Aquaman for about 4 years now since I heard it was in production, so let's get into my review.
Your mother always knew you were special. She believed you'd be the one to unite our two worlds.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.
So Aquaman, guys, is finally out, and Aquaman has always been one of my favorite superheroes. There was always something about him that I really always liked, and I've liked him for a very long time. He's always been one of my favorite superheroes. So naturally, when I heard that they were making an Aquaman film, I was beyond excited. Now, I've been waiting for this film to be made for many years now, and it is finally out. And I can safely say straight away, Aquaman is an absolute blast. It is great. Hands down, this is one of the best comic book films of 2018. It is fantastic. In the film, Aquaman is called down to Atlantis to take his rightful place as King of Atlantis, as his half-brother Orm is planning to team up with the other kingdoms of Atlantis to start a war with the surface world. And of course, Aquaman cares about both worlds, the underwater world of Atlantis and the surface world. That's obviously where his father lives as well, as shown in the trailer. So he really cares about both worlds, and naturally he wants to protect them both. So he goes down to Atlantis and tries to become king so he can stop his half-brother. Now, right off the bat, guys, this film looks incredible. This is a feast for the eyes. It is absolutely beautifully shot. The visual effects are fantastic. They look incredible, and this is by far the best looking film of 2018 in my opinion. It hands down beats Avengers Infinity War, which was my previous best visual effects film pick for 2018. This hands down beats it. It goes directly into phenomenal territory in this film with its visual effects. It is terrific. The costume design is also incredible in this film. It's one of the best of 2018 without a doubt. They absolutely nail every single costume that is put onto that screen. They've put a level of depth and detail into each costume and making them look as realistic to the comic book portrayals of these characters as possible. And it really shows on screen as a faithful adaptation of the comic book costumes, which I really love. Let's get on to Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Jason Momoa absolutely kills this role as the kick-butt Aquaman that the DCEU is building. They're really trying to change that comic book perception of the character of being a weak, kind of a quote-unquote joke character. They're really trying to change that, and Jason Momoa does a fantastic job. Hands down, he delivers an intense, captivating, and really well done performance of the character of Aquaman. I love him. He's a joy to have on screen. Every single scene he's in, he nails it. He is the perfect choice for this role. I absolutely loved him, and I'm so glad that he managed to get Aquaman right, because in Justice League, Aquaman, he felt a bit off to me, and in my opinion, Jason Momoa kills it in this film as Aquaman, and I'm so happy that they have him at the helm. Amber Heard is also really good as Mira. This is a massive surprise to me because I did not expect Mira's character to be nearly as good as she was in the film. It was a big surprise. She's actually a lot of fun. She's given a lot to do, and her chemistry with Aquaman is fantastic. And they have some great scenes with the two of them, and she's a real delight to have on screen. It was one of the surprises of the year as a supporting character. Mira absolutely is handled fantastically in the film, and Amber Heard gives an amazing performance as her. The action scenes are phenomenal in this film too, guys. Especially that final action scene at the end, the big set piece in the third act where Aquaman has his classic costume. He's going up against Ocean Master in the underwater world of Atlantis. It looks amazing. It is a feast for the eyes, and I loved the scene, and I could watch it over and over again. Now, I mentioned earlier how good the visual effects are in this film, and easily the best part about the visual effects has to be how they did Atlantis. This is a vibrant, colorful, and beautiful looking city. They nailed this, and whenever I saw it on the screen, it drew me into the world of Atlantis, and it is just so incredibly beautiful. It's easily the best looking city in a film of 2018 in my opinion, and every time I saw it, I just saw how extravagant it was and how much time and depth and detail was placed into the city, and I really appreciate the visual effects department's work on the city of Atlantis, because it's obvious when watching this that they put a lot of time into it. Another really big surprise was Aquaman and his father's relationship in this film. The chemistry was fantastic between the two actors. They have some really good scenes together, and I just loved seeing how much Aquaman cares about his dad and seeing their relationship flourish throughout the film. It is fantastic, and I loved it. There is also a beautiful storyline about love and not giving up on love in this film. And speaking of love, I loved Aquaman's parents' relationship. They have some great scenes together, and there's some real good chuckles in there between the two characters. I feel like the way they handled Aquaman communicating with the creatures was done well too. I like the way how they did that. And I really like the diverse range of creatures in this film too. From an octopus playing the drums to the fish to the shark. That's fantastic. Now, the classic suit is amazing, and when Aquaman gets the classic suit in that amazing shot under that waterfall in the trailer, it's amazing, and it's an amazing scene, and it just puts a massive smile on my face that they got the classic costume right, and that it looks so good in the film. I also mentioned earlier that I liked Jason Momoa's Aquaman a lot more in this film than in Justice League, and I really feel like he works a lot better in this film, and that's a tribute to James Wan and the team who directed the character of Aquaman and wrote him. I feel like he just works so much better in this film than he did in Justice League, and he's really given the great time to shine that he deserves. Talking about the villains now, there are two villains in this film. Predominantly, there is Orm, who is Aquaman's half-brother, otherwise known as Ocean Master, played by Patrick Wilson, and he's having a field day with this role. He's fantastic. This is one of the best villain performances of the year. Patrick Wilson kills it. He is by far one of the best aspects about Aquaman. He does a great job as this character, and I really enjoyed having him on screen. His character is also given very good motivations, which a lot of people are going to appreciate, because a lot of people watching the film will also have the same issues that Orm has and will understand his reasoning behind why he's upset with the surface world. It is awesome seeing Black Manta in the film too. Obviously, when you think of Aquaman villains, Black Manta probably comes to mind first, and he is incredible for the scenes he's in. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a lot of time to shine in the film, but for the scenes that he's in, he is amazing. I loved his suit design. That is just another costume which I absolutely loved. The visual effects on him is great. He doesn't get a lot of character development, but his motive is understandable, so I feel like they did a relatively good job with Black Manta in the film. It was also cool seeing the trench creatures. Now, when I saw the trench creatures in the trailer, I got beyond excited, because I'm a big fan of that early trench story in the New 52 comics for Aquaman, because those were the Aquaman comics I read as a kid, and it's always been with me, that storyline. I've reread the comics multiple times, and I really love that storyline. So obviously seeing him in the trailer was a brilliant thing for me, and I got very excited. However, I don't think the scene tonally fits with the rest of the film, and I can understand James Wan putting the scene in because obviously he's a horror director for the most part, so it definitely feels like a step away from that fun adventure aspect that we had for the whole first 2 acts of the film, and it kind of takes a detour into a more horror-like tone and a more thriller-like tone, which I understand James Wan doing because he's more associated with those kinds of films, but I feel like it didn't tonally fit within the film. But guys, Aquaman is so enjoyable from start to finish. You will have a brilliant time watching this. It just puts a massive smile on your face. It is so easy to watch. It's so easy to fall in love with these characters and the world of Atlantis. It looks visually amazing. See this on the biggest screen you can. When I saw it for the first 2 times, I saw it on the biggest screen in my cinema complex. It looks absolutely amazing, especially when they're going down to Atlantis. It just draws you into that world. The visual effects team did an amazing job. The costumes are amazing. Jason Momoa absolutely kills it as his kick-butt Aquaman. James Wan does a great job as director. The supporting characters in Patrick Wilson as Orm and Amber Heard as Mira are fantastic. It is such a great comic book film, and I'm so happy that it is out and that it is good, and this is putting the DCEU, in my opinion, back on the right track. I will also say that this film is better the second time. See this twice if you're going to see it. I feel like on the first time, I came out of it a little underwhelmed, but on that second viewing, I came out of it absolutely in awe. I loved it even more than I did the first time. Obviously, there are some little nitpicks with the films and some problems I have with it, but those are very minor things, and I'm planning to do a big spoiler analysis where I address those, but the overall characters, the plot, the acting, the direction of this film completely overtakes any negatives I have with it, and I would watch this again and again and again. I'm going to give Aquaman an 8.1 out of 10, and I've now seen it 3 times, and it gets better every single time. So make sure you go see this, support this film. This is my favorite DCEU film thus far. I haven't seen Man of Steel, but I definitely think that this would overtake that if I was to watch that. I absolutely love this film. It is one of my best of 2018. Thank you guys so much for watching my Aquaman review. Please hit that big thumbs up button if you enjoyed the review. Share this review to your friends if you want to spread the word about my channel. I really appreciate it, guys. And subscribe down below to catch my reviews in the future. I've got a lot more of these coming up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support and I love you all. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye.